Hey guys, Protoballer14 here, and I apologize that I only got part 1 of the video up. If you haven't seen part 1, basically it was me just unscrewing the shell, and I paused the video, went to get a screwdriver to unscrew it all the way, and then basically the video ran until 16 minutes, which I just finally realized why YouTube wouldn't let me post it up. So I apologize for this being a day late. But basically I'm going to continue with how to properly maintain your Invert Halo 2, and now this is already cleaned. But basically what I did so far was just took the raceway out of the shell, unconnected the board, and pulled the back cap off. That's all I've done so far. Next thing we're going to do, so we're going to unscrew the drive cone from the paddle. All you have to do is take a Phillips screwdriver and unscrew this. Put the screw to the side because it is a different size screw than the other ones. And just pull the paddle out. What you're going to want to do is clean off the bottom of any paint or residue, clean out the paddle itself. Take a washcloth or something and just go around this. You can pop your anti-jam freeway out, which is located right here. This just makes it so that balls can't roll down and jam up. So just pop that out. It slides in and out pretty easy. Next thing you're going to want to do is take the screw out here and there. So once again, these are different sizes screws than the other ones, so put it aside. And with the first screw, as you saw, it basically just unscrewed and the nut fell out, which is most likely what's going to happen. So don't lose that nut. Make sure in a place where it's hard to lose your stuff. I recommend the Proto Tech Mat or whatever tech mat you use. So next thing you're going to do, when that's up, you have a little hole here. Let's see here. You're going to want to take that screw out. Like I said again, that nut will come out, so you have to kind of punch it out. You can either stick your finger down in or pop out through that hole. Doesn't matter. And if you're wondering, this stuff you see here, all that is basically residue from the tape that was on here, which I peeled off. So I'm just going to clean up in here. You want to get this really good because that way your paint doesn't get coated with old paint. Just clean that up. Next thing you're going to want to do is just clean inside here, inside the motor mount. Clean that up. Clean the motor itself, the top. Just make sure there's no dust or anything on the motor. You're going to want to make sure there's nothing like hair or dirt underneath here that can get caught up on the rip drive. And that's all you really need to do for basic maintenance, as well as obviously cleaning the inside of your shell. You know, make sure you have a clean battery compartment, a nice upper shell with no paint, you know, in the crevices, and that should be it. You can see I got my other part of the shell here. If you haven't seen part 1, I'm throwing these shells away because the feed neck broke on it when I was crawling through a swamp. So that's what happened. Now to reassemble it, is simply take your the slot. This do fit on a certain way. Pop that right down in there. Put your paddle screw on. Now you want this just to be finger tight. You don't want to crank this down because that will not allow the clutch mechanism to work right if you have a jam. Next, we'll do the raceway cap. This simply goes on with the small hole facing to the small hole, and then this slides right down. There's little tracks. Slides down in. You gotta match those pins up, and it'll go right into place. I do my smaller screw first. That way it's in place and I don't have to mess with it coming out when I flip it over to put the nut in. Once again, finger tight. Next thing you're going to do, drop that nut in place. That's on. Then you take your anti-jam freeway, and one thing you want to remember when putting this in is this little tab here goes underneath the raceway top. So pretty easy on that. Next thing you're gonna do, let me take a shell out here, is you're just gonna place your bucket, or whatever you want to call this. I call it the bucket because that's where all the important stuff is held. You're gonna want to just mash this up. Just sits in place there. Next, you're going to want to take your board and your back cap at the same time. Put it in together. Just slide it right on down. Easy as that. Take your connector, brass side up, and connect that in. Might be easier to do it when it's up here. Always be careful when connecting and disconnecting to pull by the harness, not the wires. Okay, that'll drop in, and then you just basically put the other shell right on top and screw it back together. If you're going to be replacing a shell, there's no need to do this, like what I'm doing. So I'm just going to toss this back to the side. And that's basically it. Yeah. So if you have any questions, comments, ask them. It's Pro Baller 14. Have a good day.